how do you do intercultural peace healing, intercultural and inter-clan, where there's been total breakdown and absolute atrocity in the awful extreme. I have been in the presence. I've been in the presence of torturers. I've been into torture centres. I've been into places that should not exist on earth. Boy, I can know why people are pissed. I had the guy that exhumed 5,000 human skulls from the killing fields outside of Phnom Penh. And it was the first time in 20 years with me, I just held my hands. He was saying, can you understand this? And I put my hands underneath his and just held the space for him. 5, 10 minutes. For the first release in 20 years. And understanding the original derivation of the word heal is to make whole again. So peace healing is making everyone whole again and woven together. Now, one classic example, there was 2 of the people up in Scandinavia that got the head of the Palestinians and the head of the Jew to go up into the mountains at the top of the fjord for a month. Have you heard that?
No, do you know who it was involved in particular?
Arafat was one. I'm not sure who was the Prime Minister when Arafat was there.
Right.
And they ended up becoming absolute buddies with the quiet and the peace of the snow. The challenge was that all of their networks were not up there with them. Right. They came back totally and utterly transformed, but were unable to bring that energy back into the context. Because this is the same as taking from, because I have been involved in working as a psychosocial emotional consultant in business environments. I used to do all the professional training for Australia's institutional investors. They look after about 4 trillion. I used to organise all their training. And the difficulty, if you took 3 or 4 or 6 people away for an encounter, relational team building and what have you, it's all undone as soon as they move back into the old environment. Right. So there has been occasions where there has been groups of Palestinian women and Israeli women getting together and sharing cookings and recipes and preparing food together. Possibly, I've experienced that up in Bali, the Balinese tradition of preparing food as a community. So there is processes, and there is out of Vanuatu, but also spreading particularly through the Philippines, and a person up there that brought it down into Australian Aborigines is a term called healing artistry, where all manner of aspects of artistry, like dance and movement and rhythm and body percussion, and just tranquil, becoming still and quiet together in a beautiful place. All of these forms of artistry. So, for example, up in Bougainville, there is a tradition of whole village to whole village reconciliation ceremonies. And they still have, well, they had 10 years of civil war back around the turn of the century.
Where is this?
In Bougainville. Because of the Banguna mine, that they ended up fighting with the Papua New Guinea soldiers, but then it broke down there. So there was a civil war as well. Now, they're doing, even now, there's a couple of key major, what Neville termed relational mediating. So what is needed is peace healers, people skilled in peace healing going into those contexts, and relational mediating. And there's a whole lot of processes that can be used. The big one up in Bougainville has got this very potent name, the washing away of the blood reconciliation ceremony. And that hasn't happened yet because it requires the presence of every single person involved who's got to be there and have done enough work on themselves to be able to run with the process.